Right, and welcome to the third episode of the Year 8 blog, Equity Release Explained. I'm Ron Radway of Essex Equity Release Advice Centre, a specialist in the needs and concerns of those in later life, both financial and legal. This one goes beyond the basic structure of a lifetime mortgage as outlined in the previous instalment and drills down into the slight differences between lenders' offerings and peripheral issues, some of which may be pertinent specifically to the client. They're important to the decision process. Eligibility for a lifetime mortgage is for homeowners with or without an existing mortgage aged between 55 and 95. The loan is designed to be a lifetime commitment to be redeemed upon death or entry into long-term care. Thereby, the term of the loan is open-ended. However, the loan can be repaid early. That could be subject to a repayment charge, which may be fixed or variable, the former being far more popular nowadays. Circumstances when the penalty would not be applied vary from lender to lender, but broadly would be within 3 years of surviving the death or entry into long-term care of a joint applicant. After 5 years, if you move to an unsuitable property, porting to a new property. After the penalty period expires, or there's no penalty on payments of up to 10% of the loan. Equity release can affect the eligibility for means-tested benefits, pension credit, counter-tax benefit, and can also impact upon income tax thresholds, particularly with pension drawdown. Great care needs to be taken to avoid impacting upon the benefit threshold levels. If using the debt consolidation, you need to be aware that it may well bring relief to disposable income, but is likely to cost more than the original loan terms in the longer term. Once the amount of equity release has been decided upon, it can be delivered in two ways, either as a lump sum or as an initial lump sum plus a reserve facility. For example, if 60k was deemed sufficient for short, medium and long-term needs, then that can be taken all at once, or say 40k initially, leaving 20k in reserve to be drawn down in the future as needed. Should the former be opted for, then the excess monies should be left on deposit in a risk-free account. If any adults not party to the mortgage, children or partner, then they can continue to reside in the property. However, lender will require them to sign an occupier's consent deed. Clearly, under those circumstances, they will be aware of your intention, but in any event, it would be recommended that the applicants inform any concerned parties, such as children, beneficiaries, and executors in the estate, although it is not mandatory, it's a matter of personal choice. Vulnerability is a big issue in many sectors nowadays, especially where the elderly are involved. As far as I'm concerned, I treat everybody as vulnerable and actively look for signs of fragility. Some frailties are quite easy to spot: hearing or sight impairment, poor spoken English, immobility, financially unsophisticated, forgetfulness, for instance. But not all examples are so obviously apparent. Recent bereavement, trauma of divorce, poor health diagnosis, both mental and physical, perhaps being coerced by relatives or even scammers. The advisor is tasked by the Financial Conduct Authority and the Equity Release Council to deal with vulnerability in a sympathetic manner and factor into the advice. So the client is urged to be frank and open should anything be troubling them. Finally, for lifetime mortgages, there are set-up costs. Usually the valuation fee is free. Sometimes lender will charge an arrangement fee, which is either added or subtracted to the loan. Legal fees, more of which in a later episode, and a financial advice fee. The latter two fees are paid upon completion, and there's very little or no justification for making these fees up front, and vary greatly between providers. Quite a lot to absorb there, so let's have a look at the alternative strategies for raising funds in later life in the next blog. We look forward to seeing you soon.